Stay tuned because in this video we're going to break down our 7-day hike which we did with our 1-year-old baby. We did this on a shoestring budget by camping. There was no entrance fee, no visa requirements for South Africans either.
So we are at the world's most expensive city when it comes to rent, but life hack, we're doing it for free because we are camping in Hong Kong. We are doing a 70-kilometer circular Lantau trail on the Lantau island. It's quite rural here compared to the mainland Hong Kong, like where all the buildings are. What do you call that? Mainland Hong Kong? So yeah, if you're a nature's lover, then this is the place to be. Day 2 of our 60-kilometer hike around Lantau, and we're almost at Sunset Peak. However, not going to bother to summit because it's so cloudy. We knew that when traveling to Hong Kong in March. It's the foggiest season. 14 days are rainy, but it was the only time we had, so we said we'll come here anyhow. And this little establishment here, the missionaries built as their, I think, summer vacation, but now it's just left vacant. And instead of doing Lantau Peak, we're going to go down and do a contour instead, because it's no use we put in all the work. So we're just gonna get to the next campsite and take it from there. So that was our plan actually, that I had, and I'm carrying like 25 kgs. So it's gonna rain tomorrow, so we're probably just gonna stay in campsites, explore the villages. That's why we're doing this trail, because it's circular, there's a lot of villages, and it's quieter than mainland Hong Kong. So regardless of the weather, we're still gonna make the best of it. Okay, so after going through Sunset Peak, I'm now making my way to the campsite, but through a different route called the Tang Sai Country Trail. It's marked over here, so it'll take me 4 k's, 2 hours, probably me longer because I'm carrying 25 kgs. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's more gradual. It contours around Lantau Peak instead of summiting it, because no use of summit if there's no views. So I'm going to stay at a campsite called Nong Ping campsite, which is near the Buddha statue, and I think we're gonna have water there, so that'll be great, fresh water. So here's some views because I'm lower down, so I'm coming from Sunset Peak. I couldn't see anything. Instead of summiting Lantau Peak, I decided to contour around it, because I mean, if you look up there, you can't even see the peaks, so it's not worth it unless it was a clear day. So I'm making my way to our second campsite for the night. Hopefully I'm there before iftar, get enough time to set up my tent. So I didn't get to video our second campsite. It was very beautiful, nice views, nice people we had, because it's the weekend. So they gave us some apples, and we camped at Nyong Ping. This is the Nyong Ping village. The most popular attraction here is the Buddha statue. If you see it on top, it's quite a big one. Let me zoom in for you. People do is they take a cable car from Chungching station, and they come to see the Buddha. However, at the moment they're doing some works on it, because March is a foggy season, so now it's not as busy as it could be. But we experienced it because we walking 70 kilometers around Lantau Island. Okay, so now I walked up the staircase. Let me show you. This one over here, 260 steps. And let me just show you around. So now there's some views opening up of the coastline. Check it out. Some islands there. We're still walking around the big Buddha. Now you can see the village quite nicely from the staircase. Very beautiful, very scenic, very rural. And if you look straight ahead, that's the cable car. I don't think it's open to the public. They're working on maintenance. So if you look straight ahead, that's Lantau Peak, the second highest peak of Hong Kong, but highest, most accessible peak, because the one in mainland has a station on top where you can't access it. So yeah, very beautiful mountain, very steep to come down. We counted around because yesterday there were no views. We're entering the nice Wang Ping village, and finally a 7-Eleven, so I can stock up. Okay, so now I'm making my way to section 5 of the trail. Very beautiful, views are looking great. I think from tomorrow I'll be passing the beach where I can actually swim, so looking forward to that. Day 4 of hiking, night 3. we ended up staying in this park because of a severe storm, gale winds and stuff. So we stayed in there. The bottom part protected us from the wind. Things didn't go as planned, but we're going to continue now. And we ran out of supplies, so just as well we're going to go to town, get some supplies, and then continue the hike from Tai O. So we just skip in one section just because of logistics. But yeah, good experience. So now we are passing a rice field in Hong Kong. The thing I like about the Lantau Trail, it's a hidden gem. It's very out of the hustle and bustle of the city. No tourists, very quiet, very rural. I mean, the places we're going to be walking through now, the campsites where we're going to be camping, you can't even get there with public transport. You have to hike. So, really cool hidden gem. And when you think of Hong Kong, you don't really think of rural. You really think of like urban and skyscrapers, but not here on the Lantau Trail. So, loving the untouched coastline. And it's just really, really beautiful. There's no one here. Very private. If you look straight ahead, there's a bit of fog, but that's the Hong Kong skyline. Okay, so now I'm at a campsite, Sing Yu Wan Lan, I think. We're not going to camp here. Firstly, there's no water. And yeah, so that's the main thing actually. That's the only reason. But it's very beautiful here. Just check out the views. Hong Kong's looking clearer. And yeah, this campsite's a bit of a smaller one. You can pitch some tents here, here. There's a barbecue area there. Wow, the views from this campsite are really, really cool, especially because we were in a storm last night. We couldn't see much the day before because of the mist. Then if you look further ahead, there's two more camp spots over there. Behind me is beautiful mountains. There's two more camp spots over there, and there it looks like there's a drop toilet. There's also a dustbin over here, and lines to hang your clothes, and there's the drop toilet there. So tonight will be our first night camping on the beach, and I think today we're staying in an unofficial campsite, so aka just wild camping. So here's the view of Lantau Beach. We've decided to push 1.6 km further to an official campsite just to offer us more protection, because there have been warnings of monsoon, cyclones, gusts, gale, etc. So we're going to play it safe and go to an official campsite instead. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's going to be our campsite near there, and where Mama came from was this Lantau. So yeah, I think we're camping on the opposite side. Okay, so now we took the fork, making our way down to the campsite known as, I have no idea how to pronounce these names. Maoling something. Okay, so this is our campsite for the night. We still got to pitch up, and yeah, very, very beautiful, very private, very quiet. No lifeguards or anything, but yeah, stunning nevertheless. The thing I love most about this bag is how convenient it is. I just pull this down, zip it down, pull it down, take out my tent. I don't need to take out everything to whatever I'm looking for. I can just do it like that, zip it like this, keep it compartmentalized. Perfect.
Hafsa really happy at our private beach.
So we're in our tent, and there's our little schnookums. It's her first time camping in a tent, and she's doing it in Hong Kong. Her first overnight hike was in Azerbaijan. But this hike is a multi-day camp, and she's camping. We haven't ever taken her to a campsite and just camp. Hopefully that'll be in Mongolia. So yeah, her first is in so many exotic locations. So this is one of our favorite campsites so far. And it's really beautiful. Here's your water source from the stream. beautiful, well-maintained pathways to the campsite. Here's a river mouth that leads to the ocean. Here's one of the campsites, has bins, has a line to hang your clothes. There's a put drop toilet. It's our first campsite with a drop toilet, I guess because this is such a rural one. Also, it doesn't have toilet roll like the other ones because it's very, very far out from everything, not accessible. And here is our campsite. We camped here last night, and let me show you the opening of our campsite. There, that is the ocean. Let's go towards it. Okay, so now I'm making my way to our view. Yesterday it was a bit clear, a bit sunny, so I could see mainland Hong Kong skyline. Today, can I still see it? Oh wow, look at the beach. Nice private beach. Very, very beautiful. And no, it's a bit foggy today. You see that though? That's a ferry to get to mainland Hong Kong. So there's 3 of us hiking. Mom is carrying our Northridge hard carrier with some of Hafsa's snacks. Let me show you what I'm carrying. This is my Decathlon bag. I think it's like a 90 litre, I'm not sure. I know it's the biggest one they have. And how you know I packed correctly is because everything is balanced. The bag is standing on itself. So that's good for weight distribution. Got my tent in here. I have our sleeping bags and our mattresses. And I'm carrying everyone's. And our pot and our food and our water for iftar. So it's a lot, but definitely worth it considering how much we're saving in Hong Kong by camping at these beautiful untouched campsites. There's the ferry to go from Lantau to Hong Kong main island. We are at the top of Khao Ling Chang campsite. Earlier on we camped at the bottom. We had to walk 100 meters up in elevation. It was quite tough to start the day. And let me show you where we are now. We're sitting on a bench. Next to the bench is the info board. Very well organized. Now we're on the easy part of the hike. This is the Shek Pik Reservoir. It's along a road. Unfortunately or fortunately, because you can get a cab so you can save some distance. Unfortunately, if you like the trail. And yeah, there's like restaurants along the way, but please note the restaurants are only open during the day and sometimes only on weekends. So now we're heading towards our next campsite. Halfway there, another like 5 k's to go. Let me sum up the hike. Landed in Moi Wo. Day 1, camped at the base. Day 2, summited Sunset Peak, traversed Lantau Trail. Then camped at the bottom. That was the most toughest because of all the elevation. And then day 3 went to the Buddha. There's the Buddha there. Then from Buddha made our way down. Got caught up in a storm, so we just pitched a tent in the park. Then 5 we started at Tai O and walked along the coast. So now we're done with this, right? And day 5 we started hiking along the coast. Now we're at the reservoir and we're going to be finishing off along the coast, staying at the coast. So the first half was inland, mountainous, and the second half is coastal. Mind the mess, we're just having a quick feed for Half Puff. So this is a campsite, Chek Lam Chow, and it's down here at the beach, nice private beach. But the thing is, it's like half a K in. So the nice thing about it is that you're probably not going to find anyone there because once again, you can't drive here, it's on trail. But we're not going to camp here, we're going to hike for another 2 Ks and camp at low key 1. I think it's a bit better and closer to civilization.
As you can see, some parts are really nice and flat and non-technical. The bird life in Hong Kong is astounding. Almost at our campsite for the day. Something sounding very Star Warsy. There's the ferry, Loki Wan. Something that's nice, even though annoying at some times, is that the trails are really well cared for. Like here you can see there was a lot of erosion of the path, and they've put in these gigantic granite boulders, which obviously makes it a lot safer and easier, but it does mean you have to lift your foot a bit more to do stairs. We are at Loki 1. Hamza's going in for a dip. It's probably maximum 18 degrees. Ooh! It's quite cold, but it's very beautiful. There are like some fishermen who appear to live here permanently, but that's okay. They're not gonna bother you. This side there's some swings up, hammock at the back. Yeah, it's probably very nice in summer, but also probably very busy. Hafsa's favorite part of every day is pitching the tent. To quote her, it's wow. And this is the view at Loki 1 campsite.
Welcome to Loki 1 campsite. This is our fifth night of camping, all in a different location because of the circular loop we're doing. Love that there's lines to hang our clothes. Here's our camp setup, and let me show you why we camped here in particular. It's because there's a water source right here. I actually kind of like showered under that water after swimming to get the sand out. Beautiful campsite, stunning beach, and yeah, very, very safe, like everywhere in Hong Kong, well, everywhere that we've been so far. And here's Huffy playing in the sand. And today I swam for the first time and it was amazing. Cool thing about this campsite is the beautiful swings right here on the beach. There's even a hammock. Wow. So we're leaving our little slice of heaven, and I think on this campsite there are like really homeless people living over here. And the sad thing about this is that housing is so expensive. So I feel like if you're earning minimum wage, you're probably working for your accommodation, so it might not be worth it. Look, over there, they look quite well established. There's some campsites that you can see that people are living over here. Also, at the same time, there's places in Hong Kong where the accommodation is smaller than a prison cell and it's so expensive. So I feel like by them living over here, it's a bit more spacious. You're in nature. Obviously, you're not too well protected against some weather elements. But we felt very safe camping. They were very friendly, and homelessness over here is not like in South Africa. Like here, they're wearing Hoka, Solomon. They have good brands. So I feel like they're probably just going through tough times, you know. I really don't know what the story is, but they were good neighbors, and we didn't ever feel endangered or anything of that sort. We never got troubled. They're more well equipped than we are. They have a tray of eggs. They have all the supplies, proper cutlery and crockery. So, yeah. We're now walking along the water catchment, and nice beautiful view at a barbecue site. Making our way towards Pew O campsite. And yeah, here's the barbecue site, the dry side with the grill, and there's the water catchment over there. Very quiet, a lot of birds we can hear. And today is our second last day of hiking, so day 6. I think tomorrow will be day 7, our last day. This is Ching Sha Beach. I think it's the biggest coastline of Hong Kong. There's an upper and lower section, and yeah, it's on Lantau Island.
Alright friends, welcome to Pui O campsite. Our last night of camping in Hong Kong. Such a beautiful beach. They have lifeguards in summer. The campsite has cold showers, bathrooms, washing lines, picnic tables. It's about 54 stands, so it gets really busy over the weekends and in the summer, of course. A bit chilly for us. I thought now that I have time, let me just show you what our tent looks like on the inside. We have a K-way near Light 3. It is awesome. It's very spacious. Yeah, the tent's held up really well against the hectic monsoon winds and rain here. This is the inside of our tent. Look, you gotta buy gear as you go. Gear's expensive. So Hamza has a really nice R-rated mattress from Decathlon on this side. I've got a First Ascent inflatable on this side. We like the Decathlon one more. The R rating's much higher, so it's much warmer. Whereas the First Ascent, I do feel the air. If it's a cold evening, you do feel the cold coming through. To offset that, I have really nice down 0 degree rated sleeping bag from Decathlon. Love it. It's actually Hamza's size, but Hafsa and I share it. It's a size large. I own a size small, but Hafsa obviously won't fit with me. He's sleeping in a liner, which honestly I think he regrets, because actually in March it's quite cold and he should have brought a sleeping bag. We were trying to save some kgs, but next time I would definitely bring a sleeping bag. And then our Decathlon pillows are essential. They weigh like 175 grams. They pack up small, and it's one of those things that you never know you need until you have it. But honestly, that R-rated sleeping bag combined with the pillow, combined with the R-rated sleeping mat, combined with the sleeping bag, combined with the pillow, makes like an excellent night of sleep, which I did not think was possible. We have a toddler here, and she's been sleeping so well at the campsites, we couldn't believe it.
So today I left my bag at Muo, at Puo. Instead of hiking from Puo to Muo, I took a bus and I'm trail running back to Puo to complete the loop. So much better than carrying 25 kgs. And I noticed there's a lot of MTB tracks, only meant for MTB. You cannot hike. I'm actually... Okay, this is a shared one that I'm on. So that's what makes a difference from the normal Lantau trail. I love these small fishing villages on these off the beaten paths. Welcome to another day of paradise. This is where we camped last night, literally right here on the beach, on the sand. That's because the campsite behind me on Tuesdays are under maintenance, but it's basically the same thing. So now it's open, you have a table. We also had a table and a bun. And yeah, see, just like how she's camping on the beach, we did it as well. Not supposed to, but because they were cleaning, we had no other option. The beautiful part about this Lantau trail, especially by Pure Beach, is all the water buffalo. Check it out.